Assalamu alaikum. How are you guys? I'm absolutely fine and I hope you all are fine. So we finished the topic telling in the last lessons and today we are going to start a new topic, that is fraction. Let's have a quick look what we are going to study today, and we are going to study definition of fraction, its example, numerator, denominator, how to write a fraction, non-unit fraction, computing and ordering fraction, and the like fractions. Alright, then start with the definition. What is a fraction? A fraction is something which tells us how many parts of a whole we have. And how we can recognize it? You can easily recognize a fraction by a slash that is written between two numbers. Whenever you look at a fraction, so you will find a one number above the slash and one number below the slash. So let's take example. In example, if you have a one rectangle, you will fold it into two equal parts and then unfold it. So you will find one line like this, or you can also say a symmetric line you will find, and you can see that one rectangle is now divided into two equal parts, and each equal part is one half of the rectangle. So there are two equal parts and every part is 1 over 2. So you can say 1 over 2 is one part out of two equal parts. Okay, 1 over 2 is one part out of two equal parts, and for both equal parts you can say this. Now we can take another example. There we have example, the same example. Fold the same rectangle along the first fold line, and then fold into two equal parts again and unfold it. So you will find two symmetric lines or two lines, and these lines are dividing a rectangle into four equal parts, and each equal part now is 1/4 of the rectangle. Before that you just fold it one time and you find 1 over 2, for you find that each equal part was one half of the rectangle, and here you have each equal part is 1/4 of the rectangle, and every part, every 1 over 4, every 1/4 is one part out of four equal parts, right? So now there are four equal parts, you have divided this rectangle. Now come to the next slide, that is about numerator and denominator. Do you know what is numerator and what is denominator? If you don't, then you will face difficulty in studying fraction. This is something very important to study fraction. So what is numerator? If you look at, I take the same example of the rectangle, the first one, when I divided a rectangle into two equal parts, 1 over 2. If you look on the left side on the top, that is written 1 over 2, and the 1 is representing numerator while the 2 is representing denominator. Or you can say the number is written above the slash is numerator, and then number is written between the slash is denominator, and the slash is representing the fraction. So what numerator and denominator are showing there? If you look the denominator, it shows the total number of equal parts. If you remember the same example, the rectangle, when I divided into two equal parts, so how many total equal parts were there? 2. That's why I write 2 in the denominator. And what numerator is showing? The numerator is showing the number of parts that have been taken or shedded. So you will find the shedded number of parts in the numerator. How you will write a fraction? How to write a fraction? This is also something very important. Let's have a quick look here. These are different examples. Look at the circle first. This circle is divided into three equal parts. Every part is now 1 over 3 and one part is shaded. So how you will write a fraction? For writing a fraction, start writing with the denominator. In the last slide we studied about the denominator, that the denominator is something which is telling you about the uh, total number of equal parts. So there are 3 equal parts, that's why you will write 3 in the denominator. And numerator represents the shaded ones. So how many shaded parts are there? Only one, so you will write 1. And you can also say this is 1/3 because it is divided into 3 equal parts. So 1/3 is 1/3, and it is 1 part out of 3 equal parts. If you look at pentagon, so pentagon is divided into 5 equal parts and every part is 1/5. So how many total parts? Total equal parts, it's 5. You write 5 in the denominator. And how many of them are shaded? Only 1 is shaded, so you will write 1. So this is 1/5. 1/5 is shaded. So you can also say 1 part out of 5 equal parts. 1 part out of 5 equal parts. Now look at the box. This rectangle is divided into 6 equal parts and every part is 1/6. If you look the total number of equal parts, that is 6. That's why you will write 6 in the denominator. And because the shaded one is 1, that's why you will write 1 here. So you will say 1 part out of 6 equal parts. If I ask you a question, instead of shading 1 in the 1/6 rectangle, if I shed 2 of them, so what should you write in the numerator? Can you answer it? Yes, it's 2. It will be 2. We will study in the next slides too. Come to the unit fractions. What are unit fractions? Unit fractions are the fractions that are only 1 part of a whole. That means whenever you have a fraction which is having only 1 part of a whole, you will say it is unit fraction. They always have 1 in their numerator. Look at all these examples. These all are the examples of unit fraction: 1/3, 1/5, 1/6, 1/8, 1/9, 1/10. Whenever you have 1 in numerator or the whole or the fractions that are only 1 part of a whole, so you will say it is unit fraction. It is very easy to recognize. Now, what is non-unit fraction? Non-unit fraction is a fraction that is having several parts of a fraction. In the unit fraction, we are having only 1 part from a whole fraction, but here we have more than 1 part of a whole fraction. Look at this. If you look at this circle, so there are its circle is divided into 6 equal parts, and the 2 equal parts are shaded. So 1/6 is actually 1 equal part, and 1/6 is another equal part. These 2 parts are shaded, so 1/6 and 1/6 make how much? 2/6. So 2/6 are actually 2 parts of 6 equal parts. Same, if you look at this rectangle, these are divided into 8 equal parts and every part is 1/8. So there are 3 parts: 1/8, 1/8 and 1/8. That will make 3/8. And you can say 3/8 is 3 parts out of 8 equal parts. If you shade if you shade fourth one also, so you will say 1/8, 1/8, 1/8 and 1/8 will make 4 parts out of 8 equal parts. Alright, so whenever you have 1 in the numerator, so you will say it's a unit fraction, and whenever you have except 1 any number in the numerator, so that will be non-unit fraction. Here we are going to end our video tutorial, and after this video tutorial you must know about the fraction, what is fraction, what is numerator, what is denominator, and how to write a fraction. And you should know also the difference between unit fraction and non-unit fraction. I'll give you some exercise also. You can check in the internet and do some exercise for unit fraction, non-unit fraction, numerators and denominators. And I'll meet you in the next video now. In the next video we are going to study about comparing and ordering fractions, and we will start from that and we'll complete some more fraction units. Thank you for watching and take care. Have a nice day. Thank you.